Look, first of all, the grass you can see has been cut, so it looks good now. Over the summer, though, last summer, it got to roughly 10, 11 inches tall, which is about the height of this notebook here for reference. You can imagine code enforcement wasn't too happy about that, so they started a running tally, $500 a day for about 2 months' time. It's not all that interesting watching grass grow, but hearing that someone's growing grass could cost them their home, that's a different story. In fact, that's Jim Ficken's story.
I think it's outrageous.
According to Jim and his attorneys, while he was out of town last summer taking care of his late mother's estate, his grass grew and grew and grew. Jim says he did pay a friend to cut it, but that friend died unexpectedly, and the grass kept on growing.
And the grass did what grass does, and a code inspector saw that it was more than the 10 inches the city allowed, and Jim was officially on the hook.
On the hook for $500 a day fines. That went on for 57 days, totaling nearly 30 grand. That's more costly than a lot of cars on the road. Jim's retired and on a fixed income. He says he wasn't made aware of the fines until they were already out of control. He says yesterday the city began moving towards foreclosure on his home.
I'm trying not to think about it, but I'll be booted out of this house. I'll have to find another place to live.
So he's fighting back, suing the city of Dunedin for what he calls abusive and excessive fines.
We are arguing in our lawsuit that limitless fines are in fact unconstitutional.
In February, the U.S. Supreme Court unanimously ruled that the Eighth Amendment prohibits cities from imposing excessive fines.
Right now, Jim's grass is freshly cut. The question is, how much longer will it be his?
It's outrageous for being fined this amount for being tardy cutting your grass.
Now, we did reach out to the city of Dunedin for a comment. The city says in part he was cited for repeated violations on his property, adding they haven't reviewed the litigation, so they aren't commenting any further. We can say Jim and his attorneys say they are willing to take this case all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court if that's what it takes.